Hi and welcome. I'm Namita Ramani, your host of Successful Marketing for Small Business podcast and founder of Above Digital. Today is a very special episode because it's not an interview, it's going to be a conversation. And I have with me one of my team members, Ambreen Hassan, who is the manager and head of operations at Above Digital. I want to be very clear that this is not a sales pitch. We are not marketing about digital services or anything like that. It's more about talking on different aspects of digital marketing and what should a small business owner or an entrepreneur should do for marketing their business online. What should they ask when hiring a digital marketing agency, and the key metrics you should look for as KPIs when running a digital marketing campaign. The goal of today's episode is to help you save from burning your hands with other agencies, losing money, and then giving up on trying digital marketing for your business, which is the worst thing that can happen because most of the interviews that I have done so far with entrepreneurs and business owners, quite a few have been aired and some of them are still about to go live. So the common thread I've noticed in all of them is that digital marketing works the best for all throughout the entrepreneurs and small business owners. And through this episode, I want to share with you guys on what is actually working in digital marketing that you can apply in your business. Ambreen will be sharing with us because she takes care of the execution in Above Digital. She'll be able to share some insights which only she and the team knows, who does the execution, who knows what works, what doesn't work based on whatever campaigns we are running in this region. But before we go ahead and dive into digital marketing, I want to introduce Ambreen to you guys. So there's a little story of how Ambreen joined Above Digital. In 2013, I had actually downsized the business. We were focusing on the spa element, we were a spa marketing specialist. We had a brand called Spa Genie, which was doing very well. But then it was kind of a little struggling also. It was very tough to generate more business out of that brand. So I decided to downsize and restructure the company and kind of change the business model. And at that time I was looking for content writers, and I put an ad on LinkedIn that looking for hiring content writers, and Ambreen's application was one of them. Her application was in yellow color, and I was seeing her application. She has a degree from for video and film production. So when she came I called her for interview and I asked her that you've applied for a content writer job, but you have a video and film production degree. So she's like, yeah, but I'm very good in content and this and that and I had many other resumes from content writers who had degree from degrees of basically English literature and stuff like that. So I decided not to hire Ambreen at that time and go with other applications, but that was the only CV which I saved and kept it in a box. And because I knew that very soon we are going to be launching our video channel, our YouTube channel, and I would need a videographer to do the videos. So fast forward a year, I actually digged out that CV and gave her a call and told her, would you like to come for an interview? We're looking to hire videographers for doing some video shoots for our new YouTube channel. So Ambreen came and met, and the next thing we knew that she was going to work with us for freelance basis. And she was actually hired to do videos for my YouTube channel. Those videos are, by the way, still there on sparmarketing.ae if you guys want to check it out. So when Ambreen came, she just suggested, is it okay I work from the office rather than working from home, because she was a freelancer. And at that time I had an extra desk and I was the only single person. I'd actually let go of all the other staff and I was just myself because I was restructuring the business. I didn't know which direction to take the company and I wanted some time alone, and we had a couple of accounts running at that time, which was just enough for us to sustain the business and going. All these things happen in entrepreneur's life, and I'm sure you guys can relate, who all have been business owners and started their journey from basics. So when Ambreen used to sit in the office and do the video editing after the shoots, I would be running campaigns on Google and Facebook, and I would just share with her, see Ambreen, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then she would sit with me and look at the tools and give her suggestions. And the next thing I knew, within the month, that she was actually working by my side and handling campaigns with me. And then this little thing happened, that was I traveled to America for a conference. and Ambreen was handling the accounts, and I told her, Ambreen, do you think you can handle all the accounts by yourself? And she's like, yeah, Namita, don't worry. Guys, you won't believe, I was in America for almost a month doing the conference, and of course when you go all the way there, you travel and you do shopping and stuff. So I did not receive a single call or complaint from Dubai, from Ambreen, that, oh, this thing not working or something has gone haywire or something. Nothing happened. Everything went smooth and actually better. And that's how Ambreen actually joined us at About Digital. And since then, it's been 6 years. She kept climbing the ladder, and now she's head of operations and marketing manager at About Digital, handling all the execution and managing the team under her. So without further ado, let's welcome Ambreen. Ambreen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. It's been such a nice journey working together.
I know it has been, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've actually seen you grow.
Yeah.
When Ambreen joined us, she was 21. Not that I want to share your age or anything, but yeah, I've actually seen Ambreen evolve as a person, as a human being, and grow with us.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. Even the company, the way we've grown, I think we've seen digital marketing itself change so much together, like, while we've been working together. So it's been amazing.
I know. Welcome again. So, Ambreen, I want to gear this conversation towards general perspective on digital marketing. This buzzword, digital marketing, let's dissect that. Let's talk about what is this buzz about digital marketing.
I think so. Honestly, the buzz about digital marketing, firstly, we're living in a digital world these days. So if you look at it, everything that you want to do, everything's happening digitally. Whether you have to, you have to get your laundry done, there's an app for it. You want to order your groceries, you can do it digitally. Even if you want to date, there are dating apps right now. You can do that also digitally. So we're living in a digital world, and we as human beings, as people, we're online nowadays. So anything you want to search for, like if I need like a new piece of information, I'm curious about something, or I want to find something to shop for, whatever, the first starting point is usually online. I mean, usually you go to Google, Google it. So the consumer is searching for everything online. So you have to be online. Like businesses also need to be online, because if you're not there where the actual consumer is searching, you're not visible anymore,
spending their time on, like you rightly said.
Yeah.
So now there are two aspects. There's a social media marketing and there's a digital marketing.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two?
So firstly, like one thing I wanted to say was that I think digital marketing in general, like you said, it's a buzzword. So everybody kind of knows firstly that there is this thing called digital marketing, but I feel a lot of people don't really understand what the term digital marketing is. It's just like, okay, something is there, digital marketing, and that's where things are happening, but they don't understand what it is. So, and I would like to simplify it in terms of, that any sort of marketing that you do, which is in the form digitally, that's digital marketing, whether it's for brand awareness, whether it's for engagement, whether it is for, direct response and sales, that's what you term digital marketing. And then you have different channels within that. So one of them, like, we have social media, and then we have digital advertising, which I feel a lot of people get confused about. And I think a lot of people don't even know that there is a difference between them. That's one of the main concerns we see when we, reach out to the market. So I would say social media, or what I'd call it is social media management, is basically the creation of content on different channels, on different digital channels and social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, there's now TikTok, so all of these different channels. So it's creation of content, which might be blogs, it might be social media posts, stuff like that. And this is usually used for, engagement or building relationships with your audience and stuff. Versus digital advertising. And digital advertising would be when you're actually paying, you're paying money and you're spending on an ad spend to run a campaign or to reach more people and to create additional brand awareness for your company. So I had an example for this I thought about, which I would, to put it into perspective in, old school traditional marketing forms. So one is, if you, print a brochure, or you have like a roll-up banner or something, which you get and you put it in your store. So that's for existing customers or people who know you, who will seek and engage with you, find out a little bit more about you. That's what I would say social media advertising, social media management would be. Versus if you have, when you are spending actual money to run a campaign on the radio, or to put an ad in a print magazine, or to put an outdoor billboard back in the day, that's what digital advertising would be. So there's a big difference in what each of them are. Digital advertising, I feel, is where the magic actually is. Like most, businesses at the end of the day, when they're doing digital marketing, what while they don't know what it is, their expectation out of it is that, we want our business to grow, we want sales to happen, that's it. So digital advertising is what actually, gets that happening. And I don't know if I should get too technical, but under digital advertising, like, there's PPC marketing, which is like pay per click marketing. And what that is, and to simplify for the audience perhaps, is, things like Google ads, Google search ads, you have Facebook ads, you have Facebook Instagram ads, you have YouTube ads, you have banner ads. So these ads are what is digital advertising and PPC marketing, pay per click marketing, versus social media posts, which are like Facebook posts, or Instagram posts, or a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That's the core
So
difference.
things like if you guys run a campaign on social media, say awareness campaign or a competition, that's social media marketing. It's not like, unless that competition is then paid and promoted on social media, that's when it becomes
Uh,
advertising.
yeah,
So wherever you're paying money, it's advertising. It's a paid advertising campaign. Now there are two elements. There are different kinds of businesses. There are B2B businesses and there are B2C. Now what is a B2B? Is a business to business. So for example, Above Digital is a business to business. We work with other businesses. And then there's B2C business. So for example, a spa is a B2C business. Then you have aesthetic centers. When people are searching for your product or service very freely on Google, you are more of a consumer owned oriented business. So I'm sure whoever is watching this, if you guys are a small business owner or an entrepreneur, you can actually qualify your business which category they belong in. Are you looking to partner with businesses that are other businesses your clients, or end users or consumers are your clients? So accordingly you can understand the next point which I'm going to share with or discuss with Ambreen is the difference between, or rather than difference, how does B2B marketing work on digital and how different is B2C marketing on digital platforms?
So B2C B2C marketing works like, I mean, digital marketing works very well for B2C, because at the end of the day it's a very simple equation. You want to reach the consumer and the consumer is online, so it works very well. B2B marketing, like, now a lot of people actually think that, digital marketing doesn't work for B2B marketing, and I don't feel that that's true, because at the end of the day I feel that digital marketing is a form which just allows you to do any traditional, method of marketing or whatever it is, just in a more effective manner digitally. So I mean, when you think about it, it's just about how you use digital marketing and the strategies you apply and how you use the tools. So in B2B marketing, networking is very important, outreach is very important, like, people do corporate events, to kind of,
But they're offline activities.
yeah, so these
They're
are all
not digital
offline. Yeah,
activities.
exactly.
Yeah.
So these are all B2B. These are traditional forms of B2B marketing that people, take part in, kind of,
Yeah.
to raise whatever. So now these same things can happen digitally as well. It's just about how you think about it and how you strategize about it. Like, in terms of, you can have digital live workshops, instead of actually holding like real workshops, like, face to face workshops. You can have digital
Like
workshops
webinars and stuff.
exactly. The In terms of networking, like, rather than going out and having to do face to face networking, I mean, there's no harm in it, but I'm just trying to give an example of how we can do these things digitally as well. So instead of networking, there are so many, you can use the tools to actually reach out to different people digitally as well. There's strategic email campaigns that you can use as well. Like, I think even for us in our business, like, we used to do B2B, like, marketing, and we've shifted a lot of that to doing it digitally. So we're reaching to our B2B end client or whoever it is, but we're doing so digitally using, different type of email campaigns, different type of, I mean, we've done digital lives as well. So all of this has the same end result of connecting with your prospect, but digitally. So it does work even,
For both the,
yeah.
in fact, there's a case study. I don't know the name of the company. It was Riverland or something. There was this case study in the US where this company was specializing in creating swimming pools for homeowners in America. And the company was not doing very well. It was about to close down when one of the founders of the company decided that he's going to write or start a blog, and he's going to start talking about all the objections their clients had, or the questions their potential clients had when choosing which kind of swimming pool they should install in their homes. And I think ask and he's written a book also on that, and that company eventually over the years became $1 million worth millions of dollars, and they're doing pretty well, and I think they've grown and expanded. I can't remember the name. We'll be happy to share it in the show notes for sure. But like Amreen rightly shared, B2B can also be done digitally. However, B2C, we've noticed, performs better on digital platforms because there are active people searching for your product or service on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and actually on Google, searching on Google. So there are two types of. I just want to give a little bit of a little more information on
Mm.
Google marketing versus Facebook and Instagram or
Yeah.
social media marketing. So Google marketing is called when people are searching, they find you. Whereas on YouTube, when people are doing their own thing, your video shows up. Or on Facebook, people are browsing and checking out their friends posting something, your ad shows up. So, it's more of a push marketing, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, whereas Google search is more of a pull marketing. When they're searching, they find you and that's it. So a lead or we are going to go dive into basically further dive into leads and stuff. A Google lead is more high quality lead. A search lead is a more high quality or more conversion friendly lead than a social media lead. But before going further in that direction, I want to touch upon a couple of other points so you kind of can get the gist of the conversation. Now, Ambreen, the next thing I want to discuss or talk about is the right KPIs small business owners have, and because we have so many different kind of clients coming to us from different industries and different levels of the level and different years of in the business as well as the different affordability structure for their business. So, how do we dissect the KPIs we should have for different brands?
So, in my opinion, the most important KPI at the end of the day is sales, because that is what is the most important thing for any
Absolutely,
business,
yeah,
right? Like, that's what you need. A business needs to make sales.
yeah.
So, that's what I feel is should be your main KPI. There are a lot of people who do digital marketing and use KPIs such as, engagement, likes, comments, how many followers are getting generated and stuff, which, in my opinion, are all irrelevant KPIs when it comes to your main goal of making sales. Technically speaking, though, if, like, if your main goal is sales, technically speaking, I think a few better KPIs to look at when you're doing ad campaigns and stuff would be your CTR, which is your click through rate. So this tells you, whether you're reaching the right audience and how people are engaging with your ads, with your campaigns, whether they're interested, whether they're clicking on it and going through. So if you have a low click through rate, that means that either you're not reaching the right person, or people are not interested in what you're offering. They're not getting, enticed by it. So that's a click through rate. The other thing I would say is your conversion rate. So your conversion rate, just to explain what conversion rate is, how fast or what is the percentage of people taking an action that you want them to take. So let's say you have an ad, like, which is on a feed. So the action you want somebody to take on that is, once they see the ad, to click on it and go. So the conversion rate would be, how many people have seen the ad and then click. That's the conversion rate. The conversion rate to clicks. So generally that should be around, like, 10%. That's a, fair industry average. You have another conversion rate can also be applied to once somebody actually is on your website or your landing page or has arrived at your digital shop. How fast they convert into actually leaving, filling a form, leaving an inquiry, or, doing a transaction or a purchase. So that's another conversion rate. So conversion from somebody landing to your website to actually taking an action to inquire and, interact with your business. So this conversion rate can vary depending on whether, you are doing an e-commerce transaction, or, it's just a form inquiry. But it can be anywhere from 2 to 4% on just simple landing pages, can also go up to 10%. So that's a very strong metric as well to look at and, like, keep in mind. You also have your cost per lead then, so this is another metric that you should look at when you're running digital campaigns, rather than how many likes are being generated from your campaign. So your cost per lead determines, how much is it actually costing you to get somebody to inquire with your business or do whatever it is. Yeah. I would also say that, and finally is your return on your ad spend. So how much you're spending, from what you're spending, how much are you getting back out of it? Because at the end of the day, that determines whether your campaign made you money or it lost you money, which is, this is the way I feel that business owners should start looking at their digital marketing. And these are the questions they should ask when, they're working with an agency, or, whether it's with a digital marketing freelancer, whoever it is, when determining,
Yeah.
how their campaigns are doing.
So I want to add to what Ambreen just shared that one of the important factors when it comes to digital marketing is your website. Small business owners don't really pay attention or invest in their website. Your website, guys, is the foundation, is the key, because everything that you do online is being directed to your website. That's where people are going to come. You're spending all this money everywhere to send this traffic to your website, and the website's goal is to convert this traffic into a customer for you. Now, how does the website convert this traffic into a customer? Either the person who's interested in doing business with you would pick up the phone and call you. This is one kind of lead. Or maybe it's the odd hours of the day, or maybe it's so they've kind of landed on your website at night. They'll fill up a form and leave a lead for you. Or for a lot of our spa clients, we want people to directly book for spa services, so they book for a consultation. So all these forms which are submitted from websites, they are called lead forms. So that's a kind of lead form submissions where you get name, email, and phone number of people. The people who pick up the phone and call you. If you have a WhatsApp number or a WhatsApp plugin installed on your website, so people can instantly WhatsApp you through your website, that's a WhatsApp lead. So they're all different kinds of leads. Now, what Ambreen just shared, all these different things, cost per click and cost per lead and everything, is when you will run ad campaigns on digital platforms, you will be sending these people to the website. So how many people saw your ad and then clicked? And how many, so that's the CTR, the click-through rate. And then the other metric that Ambreen shared was cost per lead. So how many people clicked and came on your website, and out of that, how many people actually picked up the phone and called you? Or how many people left a WhatsApp message or filled up a form? That's cost per lead. So I don't want to go much detail into that metric. Maybe we can have a different podcast. If you guys leave a comment below, if you want to go further detail into this, where we break down the metrics and help you understand how to calculate, leave us a comment and let us know so we can come up with that video or that podcast soon. But for now, I want to carry the conversation further and discuss with Ambreen as to what should be a budget like for a small business owner to spend when it comes to digital advertising.
So the budget doesn't really need to be that much. Like, people have a misconception that it's very expensive to do digital marketing. So, and it isn't. Also, on the other side, there are some people who spend very less on digital marketing, and then say that it doesn't work. So you need to give enough budget that your campaigns can actually run. But it isn't so much. Like, I mean, back in the day, like if you wanted to run a print ad, or a billboard ad or a radio ad, you'd be spending anywhere from 30 grand to 50 grand in dirhams. Versus in digital marketing, I would say, like, you can start off with even 5,000 dirhams on one particular platform, and that would be a good enough spend for you to start off with and kind of see results and get a good return on what you're spending. If you spend less than that, it's going to be very difficult for your campaigns to have enough fuel to actually push them to do good enough that they can get you something back. So I'd say 5 grand is a good ad spend budget just when you're starting off,
Per platform.
so that you have a healthy budget that you can actually reach people.
What are the platforms we're talking about? We're talking about Google and we're talking about Facebook and Instagram as
Yeah.
two main platforms for
Yeah.
this region.
Yeah.
For UAE, I think these are the two main platforms
For-
that show results.
For direct response, I believe that Google search is one of the main, like, and Facebook and Instagram advertising. You also have YouTube ads and all these other kind of things, which are also good platforms to advertise on and show you good results as well in a different manner. But I would say these three are the key ones to kind of focus on, and 5,000 dirhams per
Yeah.
platform is a good starting point. If you think about it, it's not that much. It's if you divide a 5,000 dirham budget by in a month, by 30 days, that's actually 166 dirhams
Per
that,
day,
per
yeah.
day. So that's a good way for you to do a calculation on how how your budget is actually going to be utilized. I think a lot of, like, business owners, when they hear the budgets, they kind of get scared. Even sometimes, even with 5,000 dirhams budget, people do get scared. And I think that's a very good practice. I don't know if you want to go through it, but I think it's a very good practice to kind of break that budget down. Like, it's only 166 dirhams in a day, and how should a business owner think about that money? Like, what's happening with that money? Because at the end of the day, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, whoever it is, just thinks, okay, this is money and I don't know what's happening with it. How is this getting utilized? So there's actually a way that you can do that calculation, so it's simpler and more clarified in your head, so you understand that, okay, this 150 dirhams is being broken down into these many leads, and this lead will allow me to understand what's my lead to conversion ratio, so you understand how much return I'll get on a day-to-day basis. If I spend 150 dirhams, how much is that 150 dirhams making me?
Yeah. So I'm going to further kind of elaborate on what Ambreen just shared, was that I think the amount of money that you should spend on digital marketing, it really depends on what services you want to market and on what platform. So for example, Google as a platform is little more expensive compared to Facebook and Instagram platform. When Ambreen mentioned the spend of 5,000 dirhams, now if you are using just Google as a platform to market, you divide 5,000 by 30, like she said, that's 166 dirhams per day. Now, what services are you promoting? Say, for example, you have 3 services that you want to market on Google. When people are searching for those services, your ad shows up. So you divide this 166 dirhams divided by 3, because that's the budget that per campaign of the service will take. And then from that, how many people click on your ad, reach on your website, and give you a call. Those are the figures that Ambreen was talking about as to cost per lead and all these conversions and everything again. There's a little one more point that I want to add is a lot of businesses, when they come to work with us or when they inquire for our services and stuff, they also say, oh, do you guys do SEO? So what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization, which is basically you come up in the search results on Google organically without paying for ads. So if you go on Google and search your industry keyword, whatever business you are into, and you search a keyword that your potential client might look your business for or your service for, and you will see the first few results are ads. If you don't see ads, which is good, you should actually start advertising, because they'll be really cheap. There's no competition. But the first 3 to 4 to 5 results would be ads. After that comes the local placements. If it's a brick and mortar business, you will see the local placements of that business. And then the organic results come. So maybe Ambreen can share with us, like, how important is SEO for, and should people spend time and money and energy on doing SEO, or they should do advertising?
So again, this is something which you should think about strategically. At the end of the day, there are two sides to this coin. One is where, even if you're ranking number one in organic search results, there are so many people who are still just going to click on the ad. So sometimes even people who are ranking on SEO in the first top 3 results also still spend on the ads, because you want to be in the top position. That's where the consumer is kind of clicking. That's one part of it. The other part of it is on Google search, certain keywords are very, very expensive. So it would be a good idea to to utilize your spend the best way possible, to start doing SEO on those keywords, so that you start ranking organically on those keywords, and reduce your spend, ad spend on those expensive keywords. And so you can strategize where you're spending money on, like what services you're advertising on, and what keywords you're actually showing up organically on. So it's always a combination, I feel.
Yeah. Also, I want to add to Ambreen's point here is that SEO, which is search engine optimization, takes long time for the results to happen. So if you start doing SEO on your website, again, SEO happens on your website. So website back is a key. So you have to invest in a good website. When you do SEO, you're doing SEO or search engine optimization on the content which is on your website. So you would need elements like text loaded service pages. Whatever your service is, you need to have proper elements and good quality content and headings and descriptions and whatever you do, which is not only readable by search engine but also humans, because at the end of the day, search engine is also going to send a human being on your website who's going to read the text. Back in the days, people would apply wrong practices to get SEO and to get your site up in the search listings and stuff. Plus, when you start doing SEO, it will take a long time, minimum, I think, 3 months to reach on top or within the first few pages of the search results. So it's time consuming, which is why we as an agency specialize in lead generation campaign, which is generates instant results for you. So the minute you play the campaign, you get the leads, which means we focus our efforts on advertising, paid advertising. The minute you pay, your ads will start appearing on top results. People start clicking, and you will start getting inquiries for your business. Uh, Anything else you want to add, Ambreen, to this?
I think, see, when you're coming for results, because at the end of the day, most business owners who are coming to us are either already in trouble, or they're looking for results at the end of the day out of what they're doing. Now people have heard the term digital marketing SEO, then they'll start doing that, and they're like, oh, I'm not getting any result from this right now, because there's not enough education on what SEO is, how long it takes, what kind of result should come out. Result should come out of it. So what they're expecting is the results that come out of digital advertising and PPC marketing through SEO.
Yeah.
But in the long run, like, I mean, somebody who's educated and understands this, then I feel like, okay, when you want results, you do PPC marketing. And to, solidify your position in the long run, side by side, simultaneously make yourself strong on SEO. That is the right way, I think, to, approach the whole matter.
I agree with you. So, what determines if a campaign is successful or not? Whatever campaign they are running, whether it's an SEO or a digital marketing digital advertising campaign.
So the number one thing that I believe determines whether your campaign is going to be useful or not is your USP, your unique selling point, or your offer. If what you are offering is not valuable, to the audience, then it's not going to, it's in most cases it's not going to work. Because, and that doesn't go for digital marketing, just digital marketing goes for any form of marketing. So what you're actually offering, your product, your service, your, USP, needs to be valuable, because otherwise people are not going to bite into it too much. In very rare cases, I mean, there are always exceptions to the rule, but that, so number one, I think that's the most important. If you we have some clients, where they have a really good product or something different or whatever it is, and once we run the campaign, like, we already know also it's going to do really well, and once we run it, it does way, like, really really good. So because they have something unique to offer, or they have a good offer, or they're providing value through their product or service. So that, I believe, is number one. Secondly, in terms of determining whether your campaign will do well in terms of getting you results and helping you grow or make sales, I think is your sales team. Because your sales team is, when you, if a digital campaign starts generating you the buzz, and you start getting inquiries or leads, whatever, it does what it's supposed to do. If your sales team is not equipped properly, or is not trained, or if you have not thought about your customer, like, your business's sales cycle, and what is your customer journey, these are things that this is the business's responsibility to start thinking about these things. What is my customer journey? What is my sales process? When somebody first inquires, do they buy the product fast, or is there some sort of convincing process that happens? These are things. So if your sales team is not equipped properly, and is not trained well, and does not know how to handle the buzz that the digital campaign creates for you, then you're not going to get a result, right? So that's the second part, which I believe is very, very important. And this I say out of working with so many businesses, out of doing so many digital campaigns, and seeing, the business which has a strong sales team gets the most, fruit out of,
Whatever work we do.
yeah, out of
Yes.
what we do, because they really
Yeah.
understand, the sales team. And we've seen in certain cases, I mean, because we work day in day out with businesses doing this, we've seen in certain cases where the sales team is not equipped to actually handle the inquiry, and the sale doesn't happen. If I give an example, like, we work with aesthetic centers, we in the reception is the first point of sales, over there, because somebody calls in, and they are inquiring about a service. So the reception is the first salesperson, because it's that person's job to convert this inquiry into an actual physical booking, right? And we have call tracking systems when we're running digital marketing campaigns. So when we listen to the calls, so many times, the person on the reception who's sitting there does not know how to answer the call, or is, not talking in the right manner, is not providing the correct answers to the consumer, or to the person who's inquiring, and the lead is actually lost because of that. Some of the we've heard, some of the conversations we've heard are shocking. So if you are getting 100 leads, if your sales team is good, like, if you're only making 10 sales out of 100 leads, and your sales team is poor, if your sales team is good, you don't need more leads. You'll have more sales just for the same amount of leads. So it's so important to train your sales team. And third, I think, would be your budget, like I mentioned. Because if you don't have enough budget, then you will not give, even if your campaign is great, you won't give it enough fuel to drive it forward. So you need to give it enough fuel so that it can drive forward and do the magic and give you the results.
What's driving forward?
Driving forward means like getting
I know, I
reaching.
know. What is driving so who uses so how does the budget get used on? Maybe we can talk about a little bit about technicalities of how the algorithms work, probably. So
Yeah, so
kind of,
how the algorithms work. So even in terms of the budget, like, when you think about, this goes back to when you ask me about the spend, so I'm not sure if this might get too complicated or something like that, but when you have like 150 dirhams a day, think about how that budget is being used. One is, okay, we might be splitting it into different campaigns, etc.,
say we
etc.
split into two campaigns.
Yeah,
Say you have 75 dirhams per day per campaign,
yeah.
per service that we want to
Yeah,
promote.
let's say we don't even split it. Let's say we're just using the whole 150
150
dirhams. Let's, for
yeah.
example, take 150 dirhams, and we're using it on one campaign and stuff. Now, as a business, you need to think about, in 150 dirham, how many leads is that generating you? Like, we went to the KPI, right? Cost per lead. So let's say that on average, it takes you 20 dirhams to generate a lead. So out of 150 dirhams, you will be able to generate, I don't know, around, I think, 6 or 7 leads. So 150 dirhams is getting you 6 or 7 leads. Now, the next step is, every business, and established businesses will already know this, that how many, leads or inquiries does it take for me to make a sale? Some businesses will have like, every 5 inquiries they'll make one sale. Some business, every second inquiry is a sale. Depends on the kind of service or product you have. Is it fast selling, or does it require more convincing? So you establish that then, so it's costing you 150 dirhams to get about seven leads. Establish next, how many leads does it take you to make a sale? For the purpose of this example, just so people can understand how to break it down, I feel that will reduce the scariness of spending money.
Absolutely.
So, let's say it takes you 3 leads to make one sale, yeah, and you determine what is your average sale price. Like, on average, what is a customer spending with you? Let's say it's 500 dirhams, and it's taking you 3 leads to make a sale. So, you're making about, if you're having 6 to 7 leads in out of 150 dirhams, you're making 1,000 dirhams because you're having 2 sales. Yeah. So you're making 1,000 dirhams from 150 dirhams. This is how you should think about when you're spending money. So you don't feel scared. 150 dirhams you're spending per day, you're making 1,000 back. If you take that in a month, like, if you're spending 5 grand in a month, you're making around 30 grand back in the month. So your profit is 25,000. You're spending 5,000 and you're making 25,000 in profit out of that. This is the way you should think about it, and this is the way you should backwards start structuring, because as a business you will know how many inquiries does it take for me to make a sale, and you will understand, okay, I need to have these many inquiries coming in a day. That's how you set your KPI of, like, what.
So, but I want to go back to the point of how these search engine or different algorithms of different platforms work. Can we just, because we are back on the 150 dirhams budget. We are back on that budget. Now we have 150 dirhams and we want to spend it on, say,
Facebook
Google
or Google, wherever. Yeah. So see, the algorithms are basically, they determine what you're going to be seeing online and what's happening online. That is the most powerful thing, the algorithm. Yeah.
Because this, by the way, I want to just touch base. I'm talking about the third point that you mentioned that determines the success of the campaign is the budget that you give. And that's where I want to elaborate this point.
Okay.
That how budgets impacts the success of the campaign, which is where I want to bring the algorithms in.
Yeah.
So if the budget is 5,000 dirhams, 150 dirhams is your daily, say, spend. So how will the algorithm use this money, which will drive the results for the campaign?
So first, let me explain in basic terms what the algorithm is, because I think a lot of people wouldn't know. So algorithm is basically, it determines, it's a machine learning tool, and it determines what you see online and what happens online. Every platform has its own algorithm, and algorithm basically works off of data. So it's collecting data, it's understanding what's happening, and then according to that showing you more. So everything that you see online, what news article you'll see, which friends,
everything that everybody does online is actually getting recorded.
Yeah, by the algorithm. And what you're doing, so let me give you a brief example. What you're doing on Facebook, let's say, for example, the algorithm is watching that, so it sees what kind of content you engage with, which friends posts you like more, and the algorithm.
Yeah, this you is who is a normal person. Yeah. Anybody. It's not any business. We're talking about a user who's sitting on Facebook or searching on Google. Correct. A human being.
Exactly. Yeah. So it will see what kind of stuff you're engaging with, and the algorithm then learns from your activity, and based on that it starts showing you more things similar. So if you tend to like a lot of content around beauty products, let's say, you'll see more and more of that content. Let's say you have one of your good friends, you engage with them a lot on Facebook, like all of their posts, you'll always see their posts at the top of your newsfeed whenever you log in. Any new activity, it will be there. This is the algorithm learning what you like and showing you more of that. So the algorithm is very powerful in that way. Now, and even your I don't know if anyone in the who's listening, if you ever click on an ad or click on a piece of content, let's say it's for a phone or something like that, suddenly you'll start seeing ads for more phones
everywhere.
Whatever it is. If I click on an ad for a location, like let's say Sri Lanka, suddenly I'll start seeing ads for more things. I'm sure people have gone through this experience. Sometimes even we've done an experiment in the office, because they say now even your phone is listening to you.
We talk about a topic and suddenly you start seeing ads around that topic.
So even if I don't search, because sometimes maybe I'd never searched or I didn't click on anything, but let's say we talk about cat food. Suddenly I might start seeing ads of cat food because they say your phone is listening to you. We've done an experiment and it apparently does. It has happened.
Be careful what you speak in front of the phone.
Exactly. So that again, it's listening, it's understanding, and the algorithm is then showing you more based on that. So this also works the opposite way. Now when it comes to businesses who are using you are using the algorithm. The algorithm is understanding now. When you do an ad campaign, let's say for example, your audience targeting is your most important thing that you must keep in mind, because when who your ad campaign reaches out to and who starts interacting with your ads, the algorithm is watching that. It sees that, okay, these kind of people are, liking this business's content or their ad campaign, whatever it is, and it will then start showing it to more similar type of people. So it's very important, and that's how you, I mean, utilizing your budget at the end of the day is how much budget you have to show it to how many people in that kind
How
of,
many eyeballs can see your ad in that much
correct,
spend?
in that
Yeah.
much spend. So, and different types and categories of people will have a different value to them, so let's say you have a very broad audience, it's going to be much cheaper to reach people in a very broad audience, because each person has a bid on them at the end of the day digitally, so it'll be much cheaper. But if you have a targeted audience, it might be more expensive, your cost per click, but it's going to be worth it because it's the right person that you're reaching.
So basically, algorithms are really, really important, and they determine the success of your campaign, because based on the way your budget, based on the type of audience you choose to spend your or to show your ads on, whichever platform you're doing a campaign, it needs to show to the right people, and based on that it'll build the campaign on that. And this actually can go much more deeper and in detail. There's a lot of maths into it, which probably if you guys share with us, if you would like to learn more, we can come up with another episode on this. Do comment below, and I'll move the conversation further to how soon should a business expect results when they are running a digital marketing campaign or an advertising campaign online?
So I wish there was a easy answer for this and like a one size fits all, but honestly it really differs campaign to campaign, client to client, industry to industry. Sometimes you can see results right off the bat on day one. Sometimes it can take weeks or months before you actually perfect it and get that golden formula. And once you get the golden formula, then you've hit a home run and you're good from there digitally. But like I always say that I feel like running a digital campaign is kind of like going to the doctor. Like either you're going for a treatment, you have an issue, either you get it right off the bat, or otherwise based on every reaction that's happening, every how things are interacting with each other, you have to keep
Optimizing
modifying
the
the
campaign.
treatment plan, which is
Yeah.
the optimizing the campaign
Yeah.
until you hit that
Yeah.
right spot. So that's what I think. A good digital marketer, the most important asset or like thing that they should have is the ability to dissect and analyze the information and the data presenting and make changes based on that,
Yeah.
because you will reach that point. You won't, it's not that you won't reach it, there's no one size fits all.
Yeah.
So you will reach it. It can take whichever amount of time based on your product, your service, the kind of audience you're reaching, the complications in the campaign. But yeah.
So you can get results instantly the minute we play the campaign, if you're lucky, if
Yeah.
everything is in order and everything. Or it might take maybe a month, maybe a couple of weeks. It really, like Ambreen rightly shared, it differs from business to business, service to service, offer to offer. And if the campaign doesn't show you results instantly or doesn't generate leads for you instantly, it might need a couple of tweaks for a couple of weeks to start showing you the right results and the right kind of leads to help you convert and generate more sales for your business. Moving further, what are the challenges we face in UAE when it comes to digital marketing campaigns?
So in UAE, I mean, the thing is, see, we learn like we learn a lot from the US and stuff. So we're watching what they're doing. Doing trainings from there and stuff like that. And a lot of times, it's very hard to actually implement what we're learning over there into this market, because the market dynamics are so different in UAE. And I think one of the biggest challenges would be the population size. Because we have a very small and limited population, and everybody is competing for the same audience, which is a very small audience which actually has the spending power. So digitally this can affect, I mean, this can drive your cost per clicks high. It can make the frequency of your ads, which is how many times the same person sees your ads, the frequency can go up much faster. Your ad can also exhaust much faster, because it's a smaller amount of people, so it will exhaust faster. So this population size really affects a lot. And the other thing is we're working with algorithms which feed off of data to work. So when you have a small population, you're able to give a very small size of data to that algorithm. So for it to perform well and learn and get better and better. So that is also a disadvantage technically. I mean, in fact, sometimes on Facebook we find it difficult to actually meet the minimum or recommended audience size, especially when you're working with a niche audience. So that is one thing. And I think the other thing is that consumers are also spoiled for choice over here,
Yeah.
because of the fact that, again, we are a
Small audience, yeah.
small audience, and the locality, the area is also small. So
Yeah.
unlike in the States, um, like the audience has a lot of options of where to go, different businesses in a
Yeah.
small vicinity.
Yeah.
So they're picky, they're picky. They can easily move from one place to the other, which makes it difficult for businesses.
Yeah.
In the US, the vicinity is a big thing. Like it's so huge that businesses are far away from you. So
Yeah.
that becomes a point to think about. When you want to choose a business, that what's close to me or not. In Dubai, it isn't like everything
Yeah.
is within 20 minutes away from you. So
Yeah.
people don't. That's another factor which comes into play when we're doing digital campaigns, especially because we work a lot with B2C businesses.
Yeah.
So competition is way more
Yeah,
stiffer.
intense. Yeah. And you're talking about 350 million population of the US versus less than 10 million of UAE. I mean, it is absolutely no comparison when it comes to
Yeah.
numbers. And so, like Ambreen rightly mentioned, the population size and all of these things do matter. They are a big challenge for this market, and that's what makes advertising a little more expensive when it comes to UAE marketing. I want to talk about, Ambreen, about fake likes and fake followers that I know. I know which I got a call one of the days for a sales call, and I want to have X many followers on my Instagram. I'm like, sorry, we don't do that. We don't generate we don't generate fake followers. When you run a campaign, having a follower is a byproduct of the campaign when people like your page and stuff. So I want us to talk about how does the fake followers, one, affect your reputation, and two, affect your digital marketing campaigns.
Yeah. So fake followers, firstly, I would just like to say, you should just
Stay
not
away.
do it.
Yeah.
And it honestly doesn't make sense, because going back to the main purpose, you want to make sales.
Yeah.
So how are you going to sell to a fake audience or a fake, it doesn't make sense, firstly. And apart from sense, it harms your digital, any digital campaigns that you will do in the future so badly, because like, going back to explaining the algorithm, the algorithm is learning by the kind of people that is engaging with you, who's following you. So when you start running digital campaigns, like it thinks that this is the kind of audience who is,
interacting with the campaign.
interacting with your business, so they think this is your business audience. So when you run campaigns and spend money, it is going to choose more of those kind of people. It's just going to harm all your digital activity ongoing. It degrades it completely. So you must, and we've had clients also, in fact, who in the past made the mistake of spending money on followers and likes and stuff, and then actually had to pay money or with their time to actually remove all these fake followers and all this fake stuff, so that their profile is clean again. And their pixel, which we haven't spoken about the pixel, but pixel is what accumulates the data online, so that the pixel is clean.
Yeah. Let's talk about a pixel a little bit. So pixel is a small little piece of code that goes inside the back end of your website, which helps Google, Facebook, Instagram understand what's happening on your website. So all the platforms, whether it's Google, Facebook, Instagram, have their own pixel. And that piece of code goes inside the website for the tracking purposes. So when you have these fake followers and fake likes, so the algorithm reads data of what is happening in your website, or what activity is happening, or whether people coming on the website are converting or not, by using that code, which is the pixel code. So if you have fake followers and it's connected to the pixel of your Facebook or your Instagram, whatever campaigns we run to your followers is not going to work, because they're all fake. Nobody's going to act on the ads they see, because there's nobody actually seeing the ads. It's fake accounts. And because nobody's seeing the ads, algorithm thinks nobody's interacting with your ad, and eventually it'll stop showing your ad. So it has these side effects and stuff. So we highly recommend, please don't invest in generating fake followers or just running campaigns for followers or likes, because it really doesn't matter how many people like you or follow your page or not. How many pages can one actually follow, to be honest? Think about it. How many pages would you follow as a user? Because at the end of the day, even you are a customer for a lot of products and services. You're also sitting or spending time on Facebook, Instagram, and Google searching for things. And if you start following every single business, how is it going to, like, imagine your feed is already bombarded by just businesses showing their products or service. That not work, right? The same thing is happening in your end customer's mind as well. They're not going to follow every single page, which is where again digital advertising comes in place, right, Ambreen?
Yeah.
Um, Going further, what does really bring results with digital marketing campaigns? What shows results when running a digital marketing campaign?
So I think it comes back down to, like, we previously spoke about, like, I mean, having a good product or service, a good offer value, like, having the right technical knowledge and having, I think, the right, sales team. I think this is the basics that you need: a good product, a good service, good technical knowledge to actually run the campaigns well,
Yeah.
and a good sales team or whoever the person is to close that lead. This is a bare minimum, I think, that would come through. And giving you an example, recently I just saw, uh, one of these companies had a billboard outside, which was in huge. It was written, "You won't be able to resist this offer," and there was no offer there. So, uh,
We wouldn't name the brand, but
yeah,
I mean,
there was no offer on the, on it. So now, what kind of result are you going to get to see out of this campaign? It could have done great.
yeah,
Like, it's the same placement, it's the same audience who's seeing it. Could have done great,
yeah,
but it's basically, this is what it's your USP offer. How are you even saying the offer? Your ad copy, for example, like how are you?
yeah,
So this small strategy,
yeah,
in terms of that, because I mean the consumer is busy now. Nobody's going to pick up the phone and say, "What was your offer?"
yeah.
No one's going to do that. But
True.
if you told me the offer and it was a good one,
Yeah, I
I
would
will take the
actually.
phone up, because I want the offer. I will
Yeah,
call you. I will do whatever I need to
yeah.
do, to get it.
So I think the combination of everything, having a good offer, having a proper, good quality campaign, choosing the right audience, a combination of everything shows
Yeah,
results in digital
good
marketing.
technical knowledge, and audience targeting is, one of the most
Key.
key things, because
Mm.
you have to target the right audience. And the other thing is, we are working with algorithms,
Mhm.
so the algorithm is the king. So
I
you have to
know.
feed it the right data. Only
Yeah.
then you'll be able to see results.
And the lead quality also, like I want to talk a little bit about quality of a lead. How do you know if the lead is a good quality or not a good quality?
So, like for us now, for example, in different channels of advertising can give you different quality leads. Like Google search ads will always give you a much better quality lead than Facebook and Instagram ads, just because of the way that the platforms are. Google search at the end of the day is a qualified person already. It's pull marketing, right? It's somebody
This
who's searching
he
and then
has a
seeing your
need.
ad. So
Yeah.
already it's more qualified. Versus Facebook and Instagram, the person is not searching for this. You're putting it in their face. So they might just, for time pass, kind of, leave an inquiry or see. It differs. So that's one. We use lead management. Like, we actually manage each and every lead right now to make sure that it's the right kind of lead and everything like that. So, but again, it comes back down to your audience targeting. If you start off with the right kind of audience targeting, not too broad, the correct kind of people, if you have a database of your own already, that is the biggest magic that you can do, because you're feeding the algorithm and already telling them, see, this is the kind of people I want, so please go and find me more of these. Then your lead quality will be much better. And uh, I think it's also very important that when you're working with or doing digital marketing campaigns yourself, you make sure that when you're spending money, you're working with somebody who is looking into what kind of lead quality you're going to be getting. Because if you're spending peanuts and um, with small budgets getting like 100 leads, there's no point in that. If those 100 leads are not interested in what you're doing, if they're not highly qualified, then there is no point. It's actually wasting your time.
And
And
money.
time is money, and time is money, it's energy, it's effort.
Yeah.
So you make sure that you work with people, or your goal, if you're doing it yourself, is to get a good quality lead at the end of the day. You don't need quantity, you need quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To next point I want to talk about is the pricing of a monthly marketing spend by a business.
Yeah.
So the fees of digital marketing agencies, and so there's the two investments a small business does.
Yeah.
One is pays the digital marketing agency to run the campaigns, and second is the ad spend.
Yeah.
So how does the right agency affect in the success of your money spent
Yeah, I
on
think in
digital?
UAE especially, it's become a big problem when it comes to agency. I mean, I'm just being very honest and very frank, but when it comes to digital marketing services, there are so many people there's a big range in which they're going out for, and there are some which are like dirt cheap, they're medium range, and some were super expensive, So this range, first of all, as a business, as a business owner who doesn't have much idea about digital marketing, I can empathize because it's so confusing, right? But we as an agency ourselves have seen so many people have gone for cheaper deals and have had their hands burnt, then don't believe that digital marketing works, because they're like, we got so many likes, we got so many followers, but
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Yeah.
Or we got leads but no sales happened and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why it becomes important. And I think people who are doing digital marketing campaigns for very very cheap, it's a basic structure. It's very easy to get leads. It's very easy to get you number of leads. Like I can get you 100 leads. It's simple. I just have to set up a campaign, put a creative, and put some targeting, abroad targeting in UAE and stuff like that, and you will start getting leads. People will start inquiring for you, but it's not the right person. So when you're looking at agencies, why is an agency charging you super super cheap? How much time, how much effort, how much strategy is going into actually getting you the right kind of person. And the most important thing, utilizing your hard earned money the right way, not just spreading it to anybody. So you have to think about these kind of things. So I would say, I can't put a figure on it, but avoid, like, there are people over here in the market who are doing for 3,000, 4,000 dirhams also digital marketing campaigns. I don't want to say that, oh my God, it doesn't work, but in most cases, and from what we've seen, it's poor leads. Like, those are the people who then, like, clients who have worked with them come back and say that, oh, it doesn't work. I wasted my money, and digital marketing is, not working.
Yeah. To be honest, digital marketing, you can do it yourself. Google is free. Google AdWords is free. So is Facebook. All the platforms, digital platforms, are absolutely free for anybody to run their own campaigns. Why should you hire a digital agency? Is because, one, you are an entrepreneur who's passionate about doing what you do, and you necessarily don't have interest in going in learning these new tools in digital market, and marketing is not your subject per se. That's when you should actually look at using other people or other skills or other agencies to run campaigns for you. If you want to learn, there are tools available. Where you should learn, there are tons of, you just Google anything you want to learn on digital space, whether how to run an ad campaign on Google or a Facebook or Instagram, you can just Google, and there'll be tons of videos on YouTube and everywhere to help you step by step. You do that. And so there are various options to learn yourself, and the other options, if you don't want to waste your time and energy in doing something that you don't like, is to outsource it. And like an Ambreen rightly said, making sure that you choose the right agencies who work on your campaign is important. Some of the questions people should ask and before hiring an agency to make sure that they are the right agency for them would be what?
I think the best question is just, what KPIs are they working on? If an agency is promising you, and they're telling you, I'm going to get you um this amount of reach, or this likes and this followers and stuff,
Or this traffic,
yeah,
then they
this is
are.
a wrong person to be working with. Look at agencies who are focused on getting you leads. That's number one. And secondly, that's step one, that okay, they should be talking about lead generation, not just like bringing likes and
Running ads,
followers.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
And secondly, also, again, you can start the metrics that we shared, the KPIs and stuff like that. Ask them about conversion rates. What is, what are their expectations and stuff like that, so that you understand that they are looking at getting the right kind of leads as well, qualitative leads for you that have the potential to convert into a sale.
Yeah.
There's no point getting a lead who's just not going to convert. So the main thing is, I think, ask that rather than.
What are the new trends now in the market? We've heard now recently we are hearing a lot about TikTok.
Yeah.
Then so many different platforms that are showing up left, right, center when it comes to online,
Yeah.
different options now to advertise on digital marketing. So
Yeah. I think I, in general, have a very simplistic approach to digital marketing, because I think, the world has become like, oh, there's something new every day and stuff. So even in terms of trends, I think digital marketing, your core is always going to be the same: good product or service, the right strategy and way of communicating it to your audience. It should be the right audience, and you're using any mode or method of doing that. Even back in the day, digital marketing versus traditional marketing, was the difference? It's just that it's the same principles, but if we are doing it digitally right now. So in trends of digital marketing also, I think the core always remains the same. So don't get panicked, don't get scared. Oh my God, there's this platform new, this. I think people are getting overwhelmed with that. So don't, the basics always remain the same. And then the platforms will keep changing. Right now, the latest platform that we're seeing is TikTok, which is coming up. TikTok has mostly a younger audience. It's still relatively new. We are also experimenting with it and seeing, whether most of the audience on TikTok is, I think, around like 16 to 24-year-olds, like, so it's a young audience. Um, but it is up and coming. We are also experimenting. We have not done a lot of experiments of TikTok as of yet, so we are also understanding that platform. I also think that there are a lot of businesses in UAE who are not capitalizing on different channels, like even like, for example, you have Google search, you also have Bing search, small percentage, but these are different places which can get you leads in. The whole market is not there. You have YouTube, which is becoming more and more important, showing fantastic results. Video is going to become more and more important, so if you have not already thought of creating and producing content on video, you must. Like, we have clients of ours also who, we are trying to get them on camera now, because it's time. Like, people want to hear, they want to see the business, like, for what they are, like, in
Yeah.
video.
People
So
do business with people, so they
yeah.
want to see you, they want to see the face. If your camera is scared, it's okay, you can hire people who can speak on your behalf and share your values and your principles and the way you do business, or
Yeah.
why your product or service is unique, and one should invest in that versus your competition. So like Ambreen rightly said, the digital marketing landscape is going to always keep growing, and it doesn't mean you have to climb every next new platform that comes and start promoting your business on that. No, you have to identify, where is my customer spending most of their time, and where is that person looking for my service. So for example, if you are, say, aesthetic center, if your customer is or a clinic, and they are searching for, say, hair fall treatments or slimming treatments in Dubai, for example, you should be on Google search. Versus if you are a new product or a beauty or makeup product that probably people are not searching, you would probably use Facebook or Instagram. So it's a push marketing where you show up in the news feed. A new beauty or makeup product ad will be welcoming for a women audience, right? So you have to choose the platform based on what age group your audience is, and where they're hanging out the most on digital platforms. And you don't need to invest in tens of thousands of platforms. You just, a couple of platforms, one or two main ones, you are there, it's enough. You don't have to invest and spread your arms in many other locations or many other, because the more you have, more platforms you have to manage, it's more time consuming, more expensive, and you kind of you spread too much.
Yeah.
Not necessary that you spread your budget so much. And we as small business owners work with small budgets, so the smaller the budget, the lesser the platforms, right? uh, One more thing I want to talk about is influencer marketing, because that's such a, it recently became so big. First it started with these big influencers, now
Yeah.
then it became these micro influencers who
Yeah.
are like small people who have like 1,000, couple of thousand followers, also are now charging money to
Yeah.
share. Or initially started with just giving free products, now everybody wants products and money.
Yeah.
So how much how does it, one, I want to talk about, it does influencer marketing work, how much should one pay for influencer marketing, like and how should
Yeah.
we kind of make use of it?
So honestly, in my opinion, influencer marketing, and with a few experiments that we've done as well, it hasn't shown great results. And also, I am comparing it at the end of the day to digital advertising and what we're doing. So if I'm comparing the ROI, I'd rather spend that money on my ads,
I have
because
disclaimer, what Ambreen is sharing is purely based on what campaigns, the kind of clients we have,
yeah,
and the kind of campaigns we run. We're not running we're
yeah,
not working with hundreds and thousands of clients, but
yeah.
so based on our experience
Based
is
on
what
our
Ambreen is
experience,
sharing. Yeah.
I feel that it doesn't, I wouldn't say it doesn't work, but I would say in terms of ROI, if I had to pick and choose, I would definitely choose, I would spend my money better elsewhere on my digital ads. Again, influencer marketing, I've also spoken with a lot of different people and a lot of business owners, because we interact with them a lot. There's some people who have horror stories and are just like, completely, negating the experience. And some people who say, yes, it does work. From what I do know is that, this huge influencers, you don't really see anything much happening, from them. Micro influencers is where it's at, because they have a more engaged audience. People are actually really looking at what these people are doing, where they're going, where are they eating from, where are they shopping from, where are they doing their facial, whatever it is. So micro influencers will get you the best results so far. Like, I mean, where it works with micro influencers so far. When it comes to direct response, if you're looking for brand awareness, then of course, like, go for huge influencers, but you need huge budgets for that as well.
Correct.
So micro influencers for direct response would work best. And again, the amount that a person charges can vary. Like, I recently spoke to somebody who said that, for a month, like with a month campaign, which has like a couple of different posts with an influencer, I think the cheapest that they'd worked with was around like 8,000 dirhams, you know. There are people who are charging, there are some, very small people who are charging like 1,500 dirhams per post, and they are called shout outs and stuff like that. You also have to think about what kind of response is that going to get you. Is it going to get, when an influencer puts up a post, somebody's going to see that, visit your profile. Out of the people who visit your profile, some might follow you. How many people are going to take action? Is it worth it for you to be spending that much? What is the
Yeah.
response out of it? So I would say it's a much safer bet to go with digital ads, in
Digital
my opinion, in
advertising.
my personal opinion, though.
And I second Ambreen to that maybe for some industries, like for example, food, if my friends are trying these different restaurants, maybe I'll save that post for
Yeah.
restaurants I would like to try. That happens when I would like to try. But if you want instant results, if you want to do the sales now, then probably paid advertising is where we would highly recommend you invest the same 500 dirhams. Say for example, somebody's charging you
Yeah.
500 for a shout out. Invest that in Google Ads. It'll definitely give you X number of confirmed eyeballs and X number of confirmed clicks. So if you compare the results, it's way better to invest in. But if you have extra cash, go ahead
Yeah,
and
like,
invest in.
I also think a good comparison is like, for example, influencer marketing, brand awareness. It would do great. Like, for beauty products. Like, if you look at the beauty industry, the influencer marketing is so heavy on the,
Yeah.
for the beauty industry, because it creates hype.
Yeah.
Hype marketing is a very new thing. Like, there's a brand called Supreme, a huge brand. They use the tactics of hype marketing, basically. Where you're using all these different social media influencers or creating a hype about your product, and brand awareness as well. That in combination with digital ads then would give you a result, because digital ads will give you direct response. By direct response, I mean is that somebody will take an action, they will contact you. That's the goal. With influencer marketing, yes, you can create a hype, you can create brand awareness about you, that, oh, what is this, and all that. And then from there, but you need an ad, so to get you the actual direct response, because the direct response is what's going to make your business run, right?
Correct.
So
So influencer marketing with advertising would show you actually better results versus just influencer
yeah.
marketing. So be very careful, guys, where you spend your money, hard-earned money. Small business owners are with tight budgets,
Yeah.
small budgets. You have to be very careful and very thoughtful and strategic to where your hard-earned cash is getting invested at. Before I come to, I have one more last topic that I would like to discuss, which is email marketing dead?
Honestly, not at all.
Not at all.
I feel like, again, you have to have an engaged. Don't buy email lists. Please,
Please
don't buy
don't
any
buy.
fake audience ever.
Yeah.
Because, that fake audience is completely, of no use to you.
Yeah.
But if you have a, engaged email list of your clients, of your past leads also, you're paying to get every lead through a digital campaign. Maybe somebody didn't convert to a sale there.
Yeah.
But email marketing keeps you in touch with them for a much lower cost, and that eventually makes that person, do a sale.
Yeah.
Even for us, we've seen so many great results, and like, there's such high engagement on our email marketing campaigns, because it's somebody who knows you,
Yeah.
or who is engaged with you, who has given you permission
To send email, yeah.
contact them. So the
Yeah.
engagement rate is much higher. People are more interested in knowing what's happening with that business, and they react faster as well. So email marketing, definitely, like for some of our clients, day we send, like, an email marketing campaign, they have like a huge spike in their sales on that day itself.
Yeah.
So it is not dead at all. In fact, we in this year we do monthly newsletters. We increase the frequency of our newsletters in
For
a
our
month.
clients,
For
yeah.
our clients as well, because it is becoming more and more important, and it is showing results, and it's keeping your audience engaged with you.
Yeah. So email marketing is so important. Imagine the number of, have you ever thought, guys, the number of emails these social media platforms sends you? If you see Facebook, if somebody likes your photo, you get an email, somebody's liked your photo. If somebody has a birthday, you get an email, somebody has a birthday. So What does email marketing do? It's actually creating a top of mind recall. It's giving you a snippet of the information where you click and go back to the website and consume more content. So the minute you get an email from Facebook or Instagram or whatever, what activity is happening with your pages or on your profile, you're going to see that and then go back to Facebook and again get lost on Facebook or Instagram. This is what happens, right? The minute you're on these social platforms, you get lost. And when it comes to lead generation, for example, what we do with our clients, say with one campaign we got 100 leads for a client, out of which they had a 20% conversion ratio. So 20% of those 100 leads became customers, but still 80% didn't. So what do you do with this 80%? That's where email marketing comes in. That's where you send an email marketing, it's called a nurturing campaign or a remarketing campaign, where you keep them informed, you let them know about what's happening in your business. They have already given you the permission with your name and email address and phone number. So you have access to them and you don't let go of this is a very, it's actually it's gold.
Yeah.
These leads are your gold mine, which are going to be keeping on keep feeding them, keep nurturing them, keep sharing information and quality content. And the more email marketing you do, or the good quality, not spamming, I'm not talking about spamming,
Yeah.
that is going to build trust from from user to your business. It's going to make you create an authority in your whatever field you're in. So using email marketing, you can build all these different things, and eventually when the time is right, one of these or many of these 80% of leads which didn't convert in the first campaign would eventually convert. And that we have seen with our eyes in 18 years that we are running digital marketing campaigns.
And email marketing, the thing is, it's also a very important tool because it can, be your digital salesperson. Like when a lead comes to you, there is one part, the lead has very different kind of objections in their mind. They're either scared, they need more information, or, they have these different questions and everything like that. So, which who answers? Otherwise, you're a salesperson,
Yeah.
and you get one chance on that one sales
Yeah.
call. But we do email automation funnels, which answer all of these questions and everything. So you're not just doing it one time. You're multiple touch points you're having to answer that objection, to tell the to answer the questions and convince that lead to actually become a customer. So it acts as your salesperson as well in a different in a kind of manner.
Yeah. So, any closing thoughts? I think I've covered all the topics I wanted to cover in today's episode.
Yeah, I think like the goal of this conversation, at least for me, was that like digital marketing is so misunderstood in today's day and age. People think digital marketing is like first of all the scary thing. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people a lot of people think it's some magic wand.
Yeah.
It's something you just press it and everything
Yeah.
starts working. So to kind of shed some light on what in a non-technical way, in a more like natural way, what digital marketing actually is, how it works, how it helps your business. And definitely I think it's not a magic wand, but it's just the fact that at the end of the day, it helps you market effectively and cost effectively online because everybody is online.
Well, Ambreen, it is magic wand once it starts working.
Yeah,
And
well,
we have seen that
yeah,
happen in our.
it works.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Like it works very, very effectively. But like in terms of, we talk to businesses day in day out, so for them to actually understand like the dynamics of how it works, what does it do, when
Yeah.
something is working, why does it work, when something isn't, why isn't it,
Yeah.
so yeah, and it is great. And I mean it has helped so many businesses just like prosper, go from zero to like huge.
Yeah. Most
And
of our
that is
clients
where it
are.
has the magic, that is
Yeah.
where it has the magic, because
Yeah.
previously businesses did not have the ad spend to compete with these big brands or big competitors and stuff like that. Now you don't need that. You can still make something and like go past those bigger brands as well, where you have a starting point which is affordable.
Yeah.
So that is where I think is the great magic, and so many new businesses have like actually done so well through that. I mean,
I know.
even Huda Beauty has spoken about this, on social media. Like they didn't have brand. They're a beauty company. Like
Yeah.
they're a little different from the companies that we're working with and stuff. But they didn't have the budgets to spend that much on outdoor advertising, brand awareness.
Yeah.
Started with social media marketing, like
Yeah.
digital advertising, PPC marketing on social media
Yeah.
channels, and look at where it's taken them. So.
Yeah.
It's amazing that way. It is definitely it's
Yeah.
amazing what digital marketing
And yes,
can
we
do.
were discussing our own clients. We see them growing, expanding, opening more branches. Like it has created magic. And I want to bring a close to this conversation by saying that one of the ways to calculate easily, I'm going to give a small little formula. Say, for example, your service costs 500 dirhams, your product or service. Say, for example, you are say you are a massage center, for example. You have a clinic or a spa, and an average treatment or average service that you give is worth 350 dirhams. And if you have an agency who's running your campaign, who's charging, say, I'm giving these hypothetical numbers and figures, who's charging, say, 5,000 dirhams in management fees. And they suggest that you spend, say, 5,000 on Google and 5,000 on Facebook and Instagram. Your total investment per month is going to be 15,000 dirhams. You divide this 15,000 dirhams with, divide 15,000 dirhams by 350. What is the number? I would need the number.
1 second.
So the number that comes in 15,000 divided by 350, sorry, I'm good in math, but not on camera, I guess.
42. 42 points.
So you need 42 clients to recover this cost. Now, the more so when we choose an offer or a campaign, what we run on digital marketing, you have to choose 2 to 3 different price points, so that you have a high price point, a medium price point, and a low price point. And you can accordingly average out the kind of spend that a client would do with you and how quickly you can recover this money out. So we can actually have another episode on this, should you guys comment and ask us questions below. And we'll definitely consider going more deeper into detailed math on how you should work things around when it comes to digital. How should you have your spend? What kind of results you should expect, and with more numbers and calculations, the KPI that businesses should have, the kind of offers you should run. We can really go much more deeper into this. There was time when we used to run workshops on these things, but we stopped doing that because of one, time, and second, because the platforms are evolving on such a rapid rate that it's practically impossible to keep up the training. Because we used to teach Facebook advertising. I've done quite a few workshops with Dubai Chambers, with Dubai Business Women Council, and whatever we've taught, it's become obsolete within like a month, because those buttons and they disappear as Facebook is evolving the platform on at such a rapid rate that people can't find those triggers and buttons that I've referenced in the previous training. So we eventually decided to actually stop doing it. But we'll be happy to share the strategy elements or top level elements on how different businesses can work on their own digital marketing. It's very, very important for small business owner to invest in marketing, because if you don't, how would people know about your business? So don't be scared. Meet a couple of agencies, have a conversation, understand the KPIs, and with right knowledge, take an action of investing in digital marketing. Please don't forget to ask us questions in the comment box below. Please share this podcast with your friends, families, or whoever you think will benefit from this conversation. It's so important for us to get your feedback. Else, how would we know? It takes a lot of effort, guys, to do this, to get this information out to you, to bring amazing entrepreneurs and share their journey. I hope you guys are getting value out of this. I hope this work and effort that we're putting into this is giving some returns to all you guys. Love to hear your feedback. Please rate us, whatever stars you want to give us. We would love to see that as well. And see you guys in the next episode. Thank you, Ambreen.
Thank you, Namita.
Thank you. See you. Bye.